Hello there, world of tankers. Welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Droodles Blitz, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about the slow death of the World of Tanks Blitz comp scene. And I think Wargaming may have just put the final nail in the coffin. If you are a competitive player, I know that sometimes we have had disagreements in the past, but at the end of the day, where I stand on the comp scene is I will always support the players behind the game. You guys are the driving force that keeps Blitz alive, and you are also the major skilled scene of the game. Losing the comp scene is a terrible thing that will happen to Blitz if it does occur. So today, we're going to be talking about why the comp scene is dying and how Wargaming has just massively accelerated it, and we're going to be talking about the future of the game in general. So what is going on? Well, basically, Wargaming has this whole little tournament server, and in that server is where all the skilled comp players are from all the different servers. And in that server, it was just announced that Wargaming is no longer going to be giving money for the next tournament season. Instead, they are going to be giving gold. 100,000 gold, which is nice, I guess, but the comp players don't really care about the gold reward. For example, one of my friends, Arch, he has like 500,000 gold because a lot of the previous tournaments they've already participated in give them gold. There's no reason for these comp players to want gold or even need it because they are given so much gold. But it's not just the fact that Wargaming is making it so that there's a gold reward, but it's an even further slap in the face because these players have to spend money to get new vehicles. For example, the SPHT, the Tier 10 American Collector Heavy Tank, which has 3,500 hit points, 2,900 DPM, well, a lot of the comp scene is purchasing that vehicle. And I know this for a fact, like, there are a lot of comp players which are purchasing this tank. The Felice is another vehicle that cost $300+ to get your hands on and was used in comp. A lot of the new Tier 10 collectors are put behind massive paywalls, and Wargaming has been, basically forcing a lot of these players to purchase these vehicles if they want a competitive edge in the comp scene. Because of this is a double slap in the face, because if somebody wanted to get their hands on the SPHT, they would have had to spend $300 to $400 to guarantee it, and now in return, they're getting gold, which is useless because gold doesn't even allow you to buy crates. Wargaming has changed it so that in the past you used to be able to purchase crates for a new vehicle with gold, but Wargaming has essentially removed the value of gold by not allowing you to purchase crates with gold. And even the crates that you are allowed to purchase with gold are generally much worse than the ones that you can purchase with money. So you can see how this is literally a slap in the face. Wargaming is giving a useless currency to players that already have an abundance of that currency, and they're forcing those players to spend hundreds, if not thousands of dollars a year on the game to be able to have a competitive edge because they need these new overpowered tier 10s that Wargaming is releasing behind a paywall. Think about how absolutely insane that is. That's ridiculous. So, yeah, I fully agree with the comp players. This is BS. I would not be playing comp if Wargaming treated me like this. I wouldn't be. And that's what it seems like a lot of the comp players are going to be doing, is they're not going to be playing. Why would you play and participate in a game that is actively robbing you and in return not giving you any benefit? It's really stupid, and I'm not really sure what else to say about that. It's just really stupid. Wargaming is unfairly screwing over the people that are sitting here and supporting their game the most. I've said this in the past, but the comp scene is already not in a good state to begin with. Over the past couple years, the North America comp scene has slowly been shriveling up. I remember maybe 5 years ago when there were legitimately really strong teams trying to fight for top 8. Nowadays, I cannot name 8 good teams. I genuinely can't. I remember I was talking to somebody that got like 7th place, and they said it was literally the freest thing ever. None of their players were even necessarily good. They just managed to get top 8 because at the end of the day, there's no competition anymore. It's unfortunate, but that is the reality of the situation that the comp scene is currently in. And it's mainly Wargaming's fault for a couple reasons. First of all, Wargaming put a lot of time and resources into Reforged, and they did not put a lot of time and resources into the current Blitz that we play. And because of that, a lot of the comp scene didn't really get much information or action. Second of all, it has to do with the fact that Wargaming does not incentivize players to get better at the game. This has been a major problem for years, and it's something they still refuse to do anything about. Why, Wargaming, is it so hard to reward players for being better at the game? This is a very simple question that I've had. Like, for example, quick tournaments. Quick tournaments, you would think, 7 versus 7, you're spending an hour plus of your time to fight other players. what should you get as a reward? Well, Wargaming gives you credits and like season coins if you're doing the season tournaments. Who cares? Season tournament coins give you literally nothing. All you can purchase are fearless tanks, and it's going to be like months of playing those tournaments to be able to get one of those fearless tanks. And the biggest slap in the face is none of those fearless tanks even have anything going for them. They're literally just reskinned versions of vehicles that already exist in the game that you can get for a much cheaper price tag or even free. The T49 Fearless is literally a reskinned version of a tech tree vehicle. So there's no point for players to really get their hands on those tanks or care about. Why are we not giving gold or special rewards for participating in tournaments, Wargaming? They don't even have to be like the special top 4, top 8 tournaments. Why do we not have special rewards and currency that we can use like World of Tanks PC has bonds? Why can't we have bonds and blitz that you can earn through tournaments and skilled competitive playing, and then you can purchase special rare vehicles in the bond shop? That's the first thing. It really limits skill. I don't ever participate in tournaments because there's no reward. The second thing is that when it comes to the comp streams, Wargaming once again forces players to watch the comp streams and inflates the views artificially. When Wargaming had their latest comp season, they give you like crates, which you can get like a free tier 8 with if you watch enough comp. But the problem is that nobody's actually watching it. Like when I'm, on my free play account, which I haven't ground as much recently, but when I was grinding it, I would literally just leave the comp streams on in the background AFK, and I would get free tier 8s and stuff, but I wasn't actually watching them. I wasn't paying attention. And that's the same thing that a lot of players are doing here. They're just taking advantage of the system by getting free vehicles and not actually caring about what's going on. 99% of the people watching my channel do not care about comp. The final biggest problem with comp is that the people that are commentating they don't know about comp, or more importantly, the players don't care about the people that are commentating. That's really the sad reality of the situation. My average streams for Blitz get more views than what the NA streams were getting for comp. That is how dead the comp is. And as I said, it's because Wargaming is not having people that they genuinely care about watching the comp streams. That's just the reality of the situation. I'm not going to name drop people, but like at the end of the day, if my streams are getting more views on average than the World of Tanks Blitz official channel with over 1 million subscribers on comp, that shows you the current state of the comp situation. So you add all that together, and that's really the reality of the comp situation right now. Wargaming has removed the cash prize, which is now going to demotivate a lot of the skilled players that previously were playing for that prize. They have removed the skill and drive of newer players to get into comp, and now they are not having people that really care that much about the game commentating. So you add all that together, and it's a pretty big L. But you guys can let me know what you think in the comments. At the end of the day, Wargaming, you need to get your shite together. You seriously need to. You need to get this game back in order. You need to figure out what's going on with comp. You guys netted over $100 million this year, and you can't give $20,000 back into the comp scene? Like, are we serious? Oh, our budget's not enough. Like, we can see here a screenshot I have from the server, and it says, if you think I can make our guys pump more money into something they didn't budget for, then you are sadly mistaken. Well, my plan for this year is showing them we can increase player numbers with casuals too. That is worth investing into. Well, if you want to increase the player numbers in casuals, then you need to have better rewards for the quick tournaments. That is as simple as it is. You are never going to have people that are 50% players care about comp when the only thing they're getting is credits. They're not going to be winning most of the tournaments, and even then, it's just credits. Nobody cares. You can play a premium tank and earn more credits. I know it's frustrating, but all I can do is work with the money given. If you want to sit out, that is fine, but that won't change the minds of the people at the top either, which is perfect proof that the people at the top do not give a crap about the actual comp scene. They simply just care about money. If you love the game, play, make content, make spicy memes. For the lads at the top, the money is important, but 90% of the community plays just for cosmetics. If we can increase that 90%, then we can encourage the higher ups to invest more into esports. In other words, what's basically being said here is that 90% of the community doesn't play for the money, so that Wargaming really doesn't care about giving money out anymore, because 90% of the player base isn't getting the money. That's what I'm reading here. I mean, it says, oh, we can encourage the higher ups to invest more if we can get more people into the game, but that's not going to happen. World of Tanks Blitz is a very, very niche game, and as of now, the player base has not been growing much. In fact, it's probably been slowly decreasing, if anything, due to the stagnation with Reforged and everything else going on. If Wargaming seriously wants to bring more people into the game, and especially the comp season, they need to, first of all, get more people into Blitz. Second of all, they need to start prioritizing skill more than not skill. The stupid ranking system, which literally doesn't involve skill at all, why does this even exist in the game? Just to waste credits? There's literally no reason for this. Things like this, which are giving participation awards for people who don't deserve them, is one of the major problems. You should be punished for being bad at the game, and you should be rewarded for getting better at the game. But let me know in the comments what you guys think. If you want to see more content like this in the future, please consider smashing that subscribe button down below. And for the comp players out there, if you seriously want Wargaming to know how you feel about this, contact me. I'm more than willing to talk to you. Either way, hopefully you enjoyed the video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.